was a street that connected Madison Street with Franklin Street. It's no longer there. I think it's the McGrath Boulevard right now. So that's where I lived, at 88 Orange Street. And I could see Ionic Avenue Boys Club from my bedroom. So it was a natural for me to get up there and to partake in the things that Ionic Avenue had to offer. And of course, my folks were always driving me to that. And, you know, and I guess when I think about Ionic Avenue, my mother passed away 5 years ago, and in eulogizing my mother, I thought a lot about her life and how wonderful it was without a lot of publicity, certainly without being on a stage and being in the newspaper. And I looked at it as kind of like everyday greatness, that everyday greatness that's out there. And so I thought about my mother with that. And then when this honor came to me, I thought about my stay at the club, meeting the men that personified everyday greatness. Charlie Bunker, who was in the gym, and John Logan, who was in the smaller gym. Art Crowley, who taught me how to swim, and I got the big S on my card, my boys club card. You know, I really wanted that S on there. And those guys, that's what they had. They had everyday greatness. And it wasn't like they were going to get publicized for it. They made their job a part of their life, and they helped so many people like me to do things the right way. And I think Ionic Avenue offered me an opportunity to play basketball in the cold weather. In the warm weather, I had Crompton Park, I had everything else, but in the cold weather, I could go there, and I could play in the big gym, the little gym. It was a little cage, and it was great because you could go in there with a basketball, shoot to your heart's content, and the ball would kind of come back. It wasn't going anywhere. So I really liked the cage. But one of my favorite stories about Ionic Avenue is that Saturday afternoon, maybe 12 years old, 11, and you're in the gym on a Saturday afternoon with a plethora of other kids, and all playing basketball or trying to play basketball, firing balls, and you kind of had to watch yourself. But on this one particular Saturday, I remember this, I was shooting, and this older kid, maybe 5, 6 years older than I was, came over to me, little guy. And he said, "Hey, come over here, I want to show you something." And at that time, I loved to play, but I was shooting my left-handed layups, jumping off the wrong foot, because I was so used to jumping off my left foot because I was a right-hander. I wasn't jumping off my right foot to shoot a left-handed layup. So we said, "Hey, pretend that you've got a string attached to your left arm and your left knee. And so when you jump, they're both going to come up together. Get the left-hand layup going and do it right." And that was Mitch Phillip. Mitch, the guy that I had known for a long time afterwards. I just want to say that story resonates with me because I've run a lot of camps with all the guys out there that are here from camps. And I'll tell you, it's one of the first things that we do at camp is to make sure that a young kid shoots the left-hand layup jumping off the right foot. So, Mitch, you started it going with me, and it's continued throughout the years.
That's fantastic. Fantastic memories, too. And as I mentioned in the intro, 63 seasons you were a head coach, and it's still going. 63 seasons as a head coach, all different sports. And, you know, you have so many, like football is so different than basketball or baseball or tennis. What is it that keeps you going sport to sport? And included in the 63 seasons was 11 straight years at Leicester High School coaching 3 sports. Think about that, 11 straight years coaching 3 sports. Think about parents today. 1 sport is enough with all the grief you get. 11 years, 3 sports. Is there a favorite team or game that kind of stands out to you in your memory?
Well, first of all, to coach 3 sports, I was single. But being at Leicester High School, coaching 3 sports, basketball, baseball, and football, soccer really wasn't around at that time. So those are the 3 major sports. But what was wonderful about that, I was teaching in the system in the high school, got to know the kids really well. You know, I get to know their girlfriend problems, their other problems, and it was really 12 months a year almost, coaching as well as teaching. And so what kept me going was the fact that I'm, like the Bible says, you know, and on the first day there was chaos and then he created order, you know. To have for 3 months a group of kids come to you, not knowing what's going to happen, and then me as the coach to be able to take some of that chaos, bring some order, and see where we can go with it. We had some wonderful kids at Leicester in those days. Leicester was the school that I only stopped, but it was my first real stop. Kids that they were the reason that I coached. I mean, I had wonderful kids, and a quick story on that. He's here tonight, Tommy Lauder, and Tommy was a great running back. He was the premier running back in Central Mass at Leicester. We had 2 undefeated seasons in a row, and he was a big part of it. Peter Roden as well. And but the story I tell about Tommy, and this is the type of kid that we had. Tommy was the best football player in Central Mass, easy. Led 2 years in a row with touchdowns and scoring and the whole mess. We're undefeated for 2 years. And as a senior, we needed a rebounder in basketball. Coached 3 sports. I knew every kid in the school. They knew who I was. They knew what my values were. They knew what my discipline was. So I said, Tommy, I know this isn't your best sport here, but why don't you think about coming out? We can use a rebounder, and you're not going to get the headlines. You're not going to be the top scorer. And he came out and let us, you know, helped us to have a great season. But it was the idea of being part of the team and playing a role, not a starring role, but a role.
Right, being selfless. Ed, thanks so much. Congratulations. Ed Hippert.